What up, everyone?
Ho,
Dashing through the snow.
ho.
How's everyone doing today?
Just jolly. Thank you.
Points bet ad, points bet ad, points bet all the way.
Speaking of points bet ad, I gotta find the ad real quick. It's time.
It was right there.
Yeah. All right, guys. It's time for the Shoot Your Shot Scorecast, brought to you by PointsBet. It's America's fastest growing online bookmaker. So this is a full traditional sports book that offers more markets and rewards than anyone else. So must be 21 plus to do this, all this betting and all that. So only available in Illinois, New Jersey, and Iowa, but we're rolling out Indiana and Michigan 2021 January. So stay tuned for that. But for right now, go to pointsbet.com or the PointsBet app located in the iOS or App Store or Google Play Store today. When you sign up, use promo code FRUSTRATE, and PointsBet will match you up to $250 on your first deposit. This is a tiered bonus. So if you put in 50, you could bet with 150. If you deposit 150, they'll give you 300 to bet with. And if you put in 250, you could bet with $500. So that's a lot of money to win right there. One rule prohibited. Must be 21 plus to gamble. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis, counseling, and referral services. All right.
I would say too, look, if you're still late on your Christmas shopping, like a lot of men are probably this time of year, what you could do is, sign up for an account for PointsBet and make a bet for someone. And then when you see them on Christmas Day, my gift to you is I just placed $200 on the
Lions.
I was going to say Lions. Who are they?
Bears.
Playing?
They're playing the Bucks, so maybe don't do that.
on the Bears. On the Bears.
Yeah, $200 on Jacksonville to beat the Bears, and you'll be sure to lose all your money. But hey, it's your Christmas gift, and the best part is PointsBet matches you. So you place like 200, that means you're really only losing 100 of your own because PointsBet gave you that extra 100 there. You see what I'm saying? So it's a great.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a great Christmas option as well. So
good point.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, by the way, everybody.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. I got some special goodies over here.
Want to talk about your goodies?
Yeah, I'm taking a sip of each one of them. Hold on. All right, so.
Oh, yeah.
And this will transition
like
to our. I do like that very much. This will transition perfectly into our little discussion about how last week went. In here, I actually already took a bite of one, but in this container here, I have 9 treats. There are eggnog snickerdoodles, there are peanut butter fudge, and peppermint bark. And that's right. And I had 9 victories last week, which is like a banner week for me. I still came in last place between the 3 of us, but White Trash Kyle did an amazing job stepping in for me, taking care of business. 9 wins, so I get 9 treats. I have hot chocolate in the official Shoot Your Shot Sports mug that you can get at the shop.shootyourshot sports store. I have a good old glass of milk and Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry, not a sponsor, but you can find it in stores right now during the holiday
stores near you, not a sponsor. Use our code SYSS Scorecast, not a sponsor.
So I'm not going to eat all 9 of these as we talk about this recap because that won't feel good. But I'm going to try to eat these throughout the episode. I doubt even I can do that, but we'll see what happens.
Cool.
I just got back from making gingerbread houses with my family, so there's a lot of candy and sugar consumption already.
It's that time of year, yeah. Well, like you said, that's a sneak peek of how you did last week. What did you guys think of the games? We all did pretty solid. I'll just say
a lot of pushes on my end.
Yeah, there was Chiefs were a push. Seahawks pushed. Colts pushed.
Yeah, and Richie hit each of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
I mean, like, a push isn't a lose, so I'm good.
Yeah.
No, yeah. It's just interesting because none of us got our locks.
That it's becoming a real problem for me.
But we are never wrong.
Yeah, we're never wrong unless we're sure we're going to be right, and then we're wrong. Because I haven't had a lock right in forever. So
I didn't get my lock either.
You locked the Chiefs, and the Chiefs pushed.
Oh, they pushed. Yeah, but I didn't lose. So
You
got
didn't lose,
double
but you didn't
zero.
get it.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's better than my lock of the Steelers. If my lock with the Steelers had been correct, I'd be 12-4. I mean, 10-6 is still solid, but when I see the last game of the week with that big swing, it just hurts.
Yep.
So if I push my lock, is that 1 point, or is it 0?
No, because even if you if you look at it like your lock is you double what you'd normally bet, then you still get 0 as a return. So it's
Wait, so you're telling me that 2 times 0 is 0?
That's last time I checked. Yeah.
Oh my word! I've been doing math wrong this whole time.
It's a good thing you're not a math teacher. Yeah. So, but good week all around for all of us, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to scroll down and look at the scoreboard, but my computer's being slow. So let me check my trusty old cell phone here, the Telefono.
Yeah. So, like you said, you had 9. So you were 9-6. I was 10-6, and Richie had the best week. He was 10-3.
I need a better suit each time I go in, but I'm not that rich yet. So I have a tie on this week.
Like
so.
a 3-piece tuxedo.
I'm like getting better each week. So
yeah,
the pushes helped you because
you
only have 3 losses. That's like huge
because we have the same number of wins, but I had 3 extra losses. So yeah, which really the games you guys pushed on. You guys pushed on Seahawks and pushed on Colts, and I bet unders on both and won both of those. So really, those games I did well on. It's just missing my lock, and then a few other games you guys were both right on, especially early in the week.
And you know what screwed me over is the freaking overtime in the Raiders-Chargers game, because I had the under on the on what's his face's passing yards, Herbert. I had the under at the end of the fourth quarter, and then they went to overtime.
Yeah.
And that screwed me over. And also, I picked the Raiders that game, and that sucked.
Yeah, you're the only one who didn't get your prop because Richie went with Darren Waller over 62.5 receiving yards. I went with Josh Jacobs over 63.5 total yards, and we both got those. So, yeah, you're right. Just because of overtime, that hurt you there.
Yep. So. And then I feel a little – I don't know why. I was confident in the Niners for some reason over the Cowboys, but that game was never even really that close, I felt.
No.
But
nope.
I was happy about the Bears destroying the Vikings, obviously, as a Bears fan. And I love that you did not get your under pick. Just the competitive part of me.
Right.
So, anyway.
We were all right on the Titans, which – we all bet the same team, and it was a big line. So I thought for sure we were going to be wrong on that. But that
was the first time.
And we all got
right?
We all got and we all got the Browns. We all picked the Browns against the Giants. We were all right on that. Yep.
So
wow, so we're turning things around.
That's right.
We're peaking at the right time, boys. We got this.
Coasting into the playoffs. I'm proud of us.
A lot of credit to Fancy Richie, White Trash Kyle, and the Shirtless Shane. Just disclaimer: we want to apologize for anybody whose eyes were caused to bleed from Shane's nudity last week.
Yep, I'd like to sincerely apologize. That performance was out of character for myself. Mom, you raised me better than that. I would like to sincerely apologize. It won't happen again.
Which is why now he has a wife beater on. So at least
a little, much classier.
Oh man! All right,
you guys ready to get into this?
Yeah, let's hit the rules.
All right, let's get the rules going.
All right, gents. Let's make this a fair competition. That means no ear biting, dreadlock pulling, clothes stripping, testicle kicking, or head shaving. Each game that you're about to pick and debate will include lines against the spread and over-under totals from PointsBet. You must pick each game. You can select who you believe will cover the spread or the over-under totals for each contest. Each pick you get correct, that'll be worth 1 win. Each pick you choose incorrect, that's a loss. You must each use one skip, which is worth 0, or 0 wins, 0 losses, just 0, goose egg. And one lock, which is worth 2 wins, 2 losses. At the end of every week, the wins and losses will be added to the previous total. At the conclusion of the season, the winner will be honored recipient of the Chris Collinsworth Now Here's a Guy award. Now here comes my favorite part, and you at home, come on, say it with me. Let's get ready to gamble.
I am ready to gamble.
Me too.
Thanks, Jimbo.
All right, let's get this going.
I'm excited.
Cool.
So let me pull up my trusty spreadsheet here. It's actually not a spreadsheet, it's a Google Doc because, as alluded to earlier, I'm not a math teacher. All right.
Pull up all my charts and graphs.
Yeah, I don't hate on people that do spreadsheets, but at the same time, when people say I made a spreadsheet, I'm kind of like, I bet you did. Anyway,
I got a really nice
Eyeball
pivot
better
table
than
in
a
there.
spreadsheet. So.
All right, Christmas.
Oh no! Don't tell me.
What?
Oh no!
Oh.
Christmas Day, Vikings
Christmas
at Saints.
Is real.
He is not connected, I guess. All right. Christmas Day, Vikings at Saints. New Orleans, -7. Over-unders, 51. I'll kick it over to you, man, Michigan hat. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, so I wanted to skip this game. Just don't really like the line. It's a tough play. But you can't skip the Christmas game. It's just not right. It's not American. That being said, though, I don't know how to pick this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the under, and I'm rooting for low-scoring, bad football on Christmas. So you can call me the Scrooge or the Grinch or whatever you want, but I want a 6-3 kind of game on Christmas. What a great way to end 2020. So both teams are going to run the ball. I think both quarterbacks will fail to score touchdowns in the red zone, maybe have some turnovers. I don't think there's any way this gets to 51 points. So give me the under.
All right. The Saints, they're 9-2 against the spread versus a team with a losing record. So I'm not a big primetime Kirk Cousins fan. I don't know if it's a primetime, but it could be a primetime. But
Feels
I like the Saints.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Saints by a touchdown. I think they could do it.
Gotcha.
Yep, I'm taking the Saints. And Furious George is not here.
We'll circle back to this one.
We'll circle back. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Saturday football. Wait,
Saturday.
Is there Friday football or no?
I don't think so.
It was.
Yeah, it's just
So Friday
Saturday.
is Christmas, right? So
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Okay,
yeah.
so that is Friday
Oh,
football. Got it. All right,
yep,
cool.
then it's Saturday. Yep.
So Saturday football, Buccaneers at Lions, Tampa Bay, -10, over under is 54. I'll go first.
Yep.
So on my list, I have a shit ton of overs. This is one of them. I'm taking the over 54. The over is 4-0 in the Buccaneers' last 4 road games. It's a road favorite. And
Boom.
I feel like Stafford's going to be airing it out. Tom Brady's going to be airing it out. It'll be one of those Saturdays where, like, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. So
Yep.
I'm taking over.
I like that. The Lions defense, at this point, everyone knows they're terrible. And now the Lions' entire coaching staff is probably out of the game because of COVID protocols. So the Buccaneers should definitely be able to put up points, like you said. They should definitely be able to win this game, but 10 points is a lot. I also think Stafford and the Lions offense should be able to put up points. So I really like the over here. If I was playing both, like if I was just betting this game, I'd probably bet the Bucks and the over, but I think the over is the safer play. So I've got the over here too.
Nice. All right. Next game, I guess. He's not here.
Keep it rolling. We'll get through the whole thing, and then
Yeah.
we'll leave and let him do his picks.
All right. 49ers at Cardinals. Arizona is favored by 5 points. Over under is 48.5. What are your thoughts, Michigan hat?
Yeah, 49ers Cardinals. So the Cards are 4-1 against the spread the last 5 against teams with losing records. So that means they do well covering against bad teams. I also think the 49ers at this point are starting to run out of gas this season. Tough loss to the Cowboys. They've been on the road for a long time because remember, they haven't been able to use their home stadium. So their season's already over. I feel like they might be a little burned out. It's a big game for Arizona. They should win big. They need this to stay in the playoff hunt. So I've got Arizona winning big and covering the 5 points.
Awesome. Again, I must be really high, but I'm taking the over again.
Wow.
This game. So the over is 5-0 in the Cardinals' last 5 home games. I feel it's going to be air raid, but Nick Mullins looks pretty good. I don't know. I might be overreacting from last week, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But 48 seems pretty low to me, so 48.5. But we're taking over.
Over. Got it. I just messaged Kyle to see if he is having issues.
All right. He is back, actually.
Oh, is he?
Hey.
I'll be
Wow.
for Christmas. You can count on me.
So we went through 3 games. Want to just quickly recap your 3 games?
I apologize, everybody. By the way, I have a very old laptop, and I really don't know what happened. So there's no excuse. But that's what happened. So hold on a second. I'm just working on everything loading again. So Vikings Saints. I'm really looking forward to going back and watching this when this is released so I can hear your thoughts.
We're going through it. We're like almost done, honestly. It was awesome.
All right. Are you saying I talk a lot? Is that what you're saying? Because you're right. But Vikings
I am right. I'm always right. We're always right.
We won't be wrong.
Yeah.
I took the over in this game. Vikings haven't put up a ton of points lately. The Saints will score plenty, I'm sure, as well. So what did you guys have for that game?
Saints.
Under.
Oh, crap.
Oh, man. I'm rooting for bad football on Christmas.
And then the next game.
Buccaneers at Lions. I took the under in this game.
Oh, I took the over.
Over.
Uh-oh.
And then the last game we did point out the Cardinals.
This is a big game for Bears fans because the Bears need the Cardinals to lose one of their last 2 games for the Bears to have a really good shot at a playoff spot. So I'm cheering for the Niners, and I'm going to pick the Niners so I can cheer for them in multiple ways.
I took the over because I can't cheer on any team. I don't want to cheer for the Cardinals. But I was impressed by Nick Mullins, so I took the over. So,
yeah, I took the Cards on this one. I like that logic, though, Richie, of like if it's a game that I really feel like the Buccaneers Lions, like if I had to pick against the spread, I would have taken the Buccaneers, even though it's a big number. But because I'm going to be watching the game and I want to root for my team, I'd rather just play the over or under.
Yeah, so it's my cop out, but
right, so I can root for my team to win and just root for them to win that kind of game, you know.
Exactly.
So, right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got it.
Right. So we're all caught up.
Next
all right,
game,
everybody.
Dolphins at Raiders. Miami -3. Over under is 47.5. Curious George, what are your thoughts on this game?
Well, the Raiders just continue to disappoint me, and I still like them, but they just are too disappointing. This over-under was a little hard to pick, so I'm going with the Dolphins. I feel pretty confident in the Dolphins beating the Raiders by more than 3.
Cool. I'll go next. It's another game where I must be really high, but I'm taking it over again.
You're really high?
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's Tua time and it's Derek Carr time. So over 47.5. The over is 6-0 in the last 6 meetings. That's pretty fucking good.
Wow.
So I don't know. I think it's gonna be a game that's gonna be a shootout. I don't know. I saw a lot of overs like this week because they're all in the 40s. I'm like, it's going way over the 40s.
There's a lot of 47s, 46s.
Yeah.
Yeah, your picks were Saints over.
Yeah, I'm literally going almost all over.
Are there any 69s?
Yeah.
Over 69.
Man, Michigan Hat, what are your thoughts on this game?
I really like the Dolphins in this game because of their defense. So the Dolphins have given up 12 points or less in 3 of their last 4 games. 12 points or less. Sounds impossible to a Lions fan, but the Raiders also have just been too inconsistent, and I think they're going to struggle to move the ball. The Dolphins have enough on the other side to win this game and cover. One thing that'll be interesting to watch is whether Carr can play or not. I think a Mariota-Tua matchup, the battle of the Hawaiian quarterbacks would be really interesting. So, but yeah, I'm going Dolphins here.
Yeah, there will be a lot of extra syllables thrown around in that broadcast.
Love that. So we can never pronounce it. That'd be the best.
Yeah. If only we could get DJ Uangale. And Tua's cousin is a lineman for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
If he was up there, because his name is Myron Tungavailoa Mosa. It's like,
okay.
It's like Tungavailoa dash.
Too many syllables.
Yeah.
His younger brother plays for Maryland. I forget what his first name is, but yeah.
You can never remember.
Tom.
His name's Pete.
Yeah.
All right. Sunday football.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Bengals at Texans. Houston favored by 8 points. Over under is 46.5. Man in Michigan Hat, what are your thoughts?
What a gross line. It just feels okay. I'm going to kind of say both sides. It feels like the Texans honestly shouldn't be 8-point favorites against anyone at this point. But the Bengals did just have a nice win against the Steelers. So that makes the 8-point line look tempting to take the underdog here, but the Bengals are still not a good team, and Deshaun Watson is quietly actually having a really good season. So I just don't like the number. I don't know what to expect. I don't feel great about an over-under either, so I've got to skip this one. So with it being our first skip of the game, now's the time we mention that our skips are brought to you by Fanatics. Fanatics is your one-stop shop for all your sports gear needs. Be sure to not skip out on gearing up for the season. Go to shootyourshotsports.com/Fanatics. Click on the link to purchase through Fanatics. You get a discount. We get some of the proceeds. As they say, teamwork makes the dream work. Get your gear in time for your team's playoff run, or if your team isn't going to make the playoffs, you're still allowed to get gear, Lions fans. So,
yep.
Yeah. So that's my skip. What are you guys thinking?
Curious George, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I hear a lot of what you're saying. Man, Michigan Hat, man, the Santa Hat. There's a lot of things there that, yeah, I agree with. The 8, I hate.
Yep.
Hate that a lot. And to be honest, I was surprised that Houston's line was this large.
If I had to predict, I would have picked like 2.5. Maybe I'm just crazy, but yeah,
you are crazy.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
No, I agree with man in the Santa Hat, because the thing is that beating the Steelers, you'd think that would really shoot up the Bengals stock. But in any case, in this game, because the 8 is such a weird number, I'm going Bengals in this game.
Okay.
Love that.
I'm on the Ryan Finley train. Woo!
Love it.
A train no one's ever heard of.
Future Bears quarterback. There's my bold prediction for the next 5 years.
Wow.
I'm not saying I want that. I'm just saying that's probably what would happen.
I mean, they already took Lazor, so getting Bills throwaways would be a fitting.
Yeah.
How about you, Richie?
You guys are going to hate me, but I took the over again. And then, so
nice.
I'm overreacting to last week. Bengals look good. Texans, they can do damage. I don't even know how the Texans defense is, but
terrible.
I feel like it can go over 46.5. So Yeah.
I like that play actually. And really I like your strategy of picking a lot of overs because all these are in the 40s basically. So I think you're gonna be right on more than you're wrong on. So
because we're never
will not be wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag.
And it's just fun to root for overs in general too. So
yeah. Plus it's like the weekend where like with family and you're not gonna really watch. So like you just want to see the points on your phone, like points, yes,
that's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
The thing I hate, and we've alluded to this a few times now, is that when I go through and put our scoreboard together, I have to do math. Because then I have to say, okay, is this more or less than 46 and a half?
Huh.
No. Thankfully, the NFL doesn't have half points and stuff, because then I'd really be screwed.
Ugh, that'd be gross.
They have safeties, and that screws the spread. So.
6.25 points. Yeah.
All right. Game of the week for me, at least.
Yeah,
Bears at Jaguars. Chicago is favored by 7.5. Over-under is 47.5. We'll go with the expert, Furious George, for this one. What are your thoughts on this one?
That's right. I'm going to do a little shameless plug real quick. If you all don't know, I am the host of the Full Press Bears podcast. It's on a separate network, but it's good. And I just did a Bears fireside chat, so go check that out for my
Sexy
holiday episode. That's right.
Do you have like crackling fireplace in the background?
You'll have to go check it out.
Did you have like Christmas Kenny G music? That'd be cool.
You will have to listen to go find out. But in that episode, I recapped the Vikings game. I previewed the Jaguars game because I couldn't find anyone that wanted to talk about the Jaguars, which is probably pretty accurate. But
Gardner Minshew, he would talk about it all day.
Yeah, his DMs are open. So anyway,
really?
Yeah, I predicted the Bears will win. Are you guys ready for this? Hold on to your
56 to
your
10.
Santa hats and your elf ears. I said
I'll hold on to my tie because that's all I have. So
37-13.
Wow.
And because I say that with some conviction, and so for that reason I am locking down the Chicago Bears. Let's go.
I respect that.
That's pretty acceptable.
You're gonna have that big of a statement. Yeah, I respect using your lock there.
And our locks are brought to you by the Shoot Your Shot Sports Store. You can go there. You can get this really cool looking mug here that I was drinking my hot chocolate out of. Sadly, I already finished it. I'm out of my milk now. But you can go find cool mugs there. You can find there's a Frustration Nation ugly sweater. There's stuff for off the cuff for all the shows. Go check it out. There's a we will not be wrong shirt for this show. All sorts of goodies. Shop.Shoot Your Shot Sports. Go there now. Use all the gift card money, all those Visa gift cards you get for Christmas. Use them on the Shop.Shoot Your Shot Sports store. All right,
Man in Michigan hat. What are your thoughts on this?
All right. So a couple teams at this point just playing for draft position.
That's right.
So the half point maybe would make me a little nervous in some situations. Like 7.5 is a tough number. But I don't see how anyone could not take the Bears here. The Jaguars are now poised to pick first in the draft. The Bears desperately need to win this game if they want to get into the playoffs, and the Jags desperately need to lose this game. James Robinson's missing practice with a minor injury. Their coach, Doug Marrone, announced there's a competition for starting quarterback role this weekend. It feels like a week that Jacksonville kind of is almost anticipating and planning for a loss. The Bears should coast.
Did you already say that they're sitting James Robinson too?
I saw that he missed practice, which
they said they're sitting him.
Did he? Okay, which that's a move you make if you know you don't need him and it doesn't matter. So it feels like the Jaguars would love to lose this game by multiple scores. The Bears would love to win this game by multiple scores and keep their offense rolling. The Bears should win this by multiple touchdowns, and I almost locked this too. I'm going to hold off because there's another one I like, but Bears should win this big. Something that's interesting though is Vegas reported today that the Jaguars have 91% of the money on them right now.
Oh.
I have no idea why.
Wow.
That's not good.
Well, I will say, there have been, before this game, there have been 2 games the Bears have been favored in. I don't recall which ones, and neither of them have the Bears covered.
Yeah.
So the Bears do not cover when they are favored.
And that's part of the reason, because it's 7.5, and because I am one of those who still thinks that the Bears offense is more like the majority of the season than these past few games. I do think they'll move the ball against the Jaguars for sure, but I don't know for sure that a blowout is a lock. And at 7.5, you're almost getting into blowout territory. If you feel confident picking that. So just thought I'd mention it, but I do feel good about the Bears.
With that said, I'm going to skip this game because I don't like 7.5 and I want them to win. It could be close. I don't know. I have a feeling since Vegas, whatever, or the public is picking the Jaguars, I have an odd feeling about that. So I just want the Bears to win, but I'm going to skip it. So,
gotcha.
I will say, just because I know more about this topic, the one thing that's really unsettling to me is so many Bears reporters, writers, podcasters, everybody have there's a lot of people that have already kind of set their sights on Green Bay, which is the next week. And I hate when you do that. Like, you have to win the game in front of you first. And I can only hope that the team is doing that and that it's just the journalists that are, because a lot of them are just kind of brushing this game off. Like, oh yeah, this game, we're looking at a meaningful week 17. Yeah, well, the Bears have to beat the Jaguars first, and the Jaguars are an NFL team.
Yeah.
So,
which, I mean, look at the Rams, Jets.
Yep.
Like, obviously, the Rams are a team that needed to win that, because at this point, I don't know if they needed to, because they're going to make the playoffs anyway. But like, there's no reason they would have not cared about winning that game. And the Jets are obviously just as bad as the Jaguars are. So, yeah, I mean, it's important to note. Yeah, I don't think they're overlooking them. I think players and coaches are usually better about that than media, and should be an easy win, but we'll see.
All right, Falcons at Chiefs. We have the Chiefs favored by 10.5, big ones, and the over-under is 54. Richie, why don't you start us off?
Guess what time it is? It's coin flip time. So I think I'm pretty good at my coin flip. I think I won last week's.
I think that was the Colts. Was your coin flip?
Yeah, it was the Colts. Yes, you pushed.
That was a push, yeah.
Oh, whatever. Same thing.
So the coin landed on the pitch.
Yeah, all right. So Falcons has heads, Chiefs has tails.
Okay.
We got tails.
Chiefs.
All
right, got it in. And I'll add the note that that's coin flip.
Very nice.
I don't know this game because I honestly feel like Chiefs been this like going by and winning like close, and it pisses me off because I could have won like so much more money if the Chiefs didn't fucking push. Like, God,
yeah,
so bad. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go because that leads me right into my pick.
Oh boy!
I was looking at the over/under at that 54 number, and I was very tempted to take the over, just because the Falcons do score a lot, even though they lose a lot. It's strange how much they do score with how many losses they have, but they score a lot of points, and I know the Chiefs are going to win this game. So to me, it came down to I was very tempted to go the over, but I recall something that, man in the Santa hat, you referred to this a few times now in the show. You've told me that the Chiefs never cover. You've said it multiple times on our show. And so to go along with that, I am going the Falcons in this game.
Yes.
So
let's go.
That 10.5 is that half point is what does it for me, because I could easily see a Chiefs 10-point victory that's comfortable. But that still would mean the Falcons cover. So I'm going Falcons.
I hate the Chiefs this year. They fucking I don't know. Like, they're good, but they're not good.
They had to have been also pretty frustrating in the playoffs last year because they were behind in every playoff game last year, and then they came back from behind and won.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're one of those teams, like I think you said this, Kyle, about the Packers last week, where it's like they're a team who wins just by as much as they need to.
Yep.
They just get by in life, which is great. That's why I like the Chiefs. They're not like the Golden State Warriors. They're just gonna like just get by and win, but they're gonna win like a lot.
Yeah, you can tell they're a good team because they only score as much as they need to. Like if they go up against a really good team, most of the time they still will have, be well in the game because they are good enough to score as much as they have to. But it's funny you brought up the Golden State Warriors, Richie, because they kind of got blown out by the Nets. But
yeah, man,
I saw that.
Kevin Durant looks good, man.
Golden State more like
2 years
City,
for Russ.
RIP City.
Russ, I feel like the Russ definitely won.
Yeah. Speaking of getting blown out, the Bulls.
It ended up being closer than I thought, though.
I was about to bet them like a system play. I was literally about to okay, first night home game. I'm like, I didn't. I stayed away. So that was good. That was bad.
The Pistons were up like 14 early in the game and then ended up losing a close game. So that was disappointing, which is like they're a rebuilding team who's probably going to be a lottery team. So competitive losses are fine with me, but it was still just like,
Yeah. This is not the game I'm
if basketball wants to not be back again, that'd be fine with me.
The Bulls gave up 83 points in the first half.
That's a lot.
That's a high scoring total for a college basketball game.
And that's like a normal total for like a 1990s, 1980s NBA game.
Yep.
So,
which by coincidence is the last time the Bulls were good. So that was
they were good with D-Rose.
I know, just kidding. That's the tie-in, but no.
All right. Let's get into Browns at Jets.
Hey, wait, I didn't pick Falcons Chiefs yet.
I don't care.
I thought you did.
But I'm going to pick the same way you did, Kyle. In my notes here, I had this is a tough number for a team that already doesn't like to cover. Matt Ryan actually looked pretty good for a half last week, too. Looks like maybe he remembered how to play football again. The Chiefs are terrible at covering. Like I said, that half point basically makes this a 2-touchdown line. And I just don't know if it's a 2-touchdown win. I think they're definitely 2 touchdowns better. But with the Falcons offense, I think maybe they get a late score in garbage time, bring this within 10. Might be a bold pick, but I'm taking the Falcons here too.
I don't think it'll be a bold pick. I really feel pretty comfortable.
I'm hoping my coin flip works because I want to pick the Falcons. But
yeah. Well, if it does, you're going to gain a gain on both of us. So yeah.
All
right. Cool.
All right.
Now we can go to Browns Jets.
The matchup that for most of this century, people would say skip this game, don't watch it. Horrible teams, but the Browns are decent this year. So, and by decent, they could win their division, which is crazy.
But they could lose it too.
They could miss the playoffs at 11.
Yeah, I heard that.
They could miss the playoffs. So they could win out. Insane. And if dominoes fall the right way, they could miss the playoffs at 11 wins.
Well, on the flip side, just real quick, I heard, and this is preposterous to me, the Bears mathematically are still in play for the number 5 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that too. That's a lot.
Anyway, Browns, Jets, Cleveland by 10, over under 47. Let's go with man in the Santa hat. Give us a good ho ho ho.
Ho ho ho. Yeah, we're not going to talk about Dwayne Haskins.
Now say it sexy
until later.
That's later on, but I'm thinking about that.
Ho ho ho. I'm picking the Browns here. 10 just isn't enough points for the Jets. Yes, the Jets finally won a game and actually against a good team. But if anything, that just means they need to lose this even more. I still don't know how the Rams lost to the Jets. That's one of the most unexplainable losses I can remember, honestly. The Jets do have some decent players. Like
one of the great mysteries in history.
I don't know why I was raising my hand, but
it's like Stonehenge, Jets, Jets, Rams. Like, yeah. What were you say, Richie?
Fun fact, if you bet the Jets and the Bengals money line $100, like parlay, you would win $13,000. That's fucking wild to me.
This week or last week?
This week or the past week, like yeah.
I mean, those were both huge upsets. Yeah, I believe it.
And I knew it was going to happen because I picked like the underdog, but I didn't like the money line. I just
Yeah, it's I just don't understand it. They should lose this one big, but I mean, everybody at this point, I feel like this line would be like 14 or 15 if they had lost that game, like everyone thought. But I think everybody's kind of not sure what to do with the Jets at this point. Just looking at the team as a whole, though, and not overreacting to one game, they should lose. Cleveland should cover.
Awesome.
Very good. Richie.
I agree with you. Browns. I'm high on the Browns. Big Baker fan. Whatever, I have my notes. The favorite is 10-1 against the spread in the last 11 meetings. So the Browns, they're looking good at Jet Stadium, whatever it is called, whatever. But yeah. Love the Browns. Sir, should be very proud.
MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, MetLife. Unless there's a black cat that shows up. But
it's a good point.
But Browns. All the way Browns.
Browns pending black cat. That's all
right. I am gonna get like Odell Beckham Jr. and get under these Browns.
Oh yeah.
I am going under on this game. 47 is not an absurdly high number, but I don't feel like the Jets are going to score very much.
Yep.
And I don't know why, but I feel like this is going to be a game that the Browns are going to give all their fans a heart attack, and it's going to be it's not going to be like a really close game, but the Browns are not going to blow out the Jets like everyone's thinking. I think the Browns could still win by 10 and still hit the under.
Yeah, like because, a 20-10 or something.
Yeah, where it's still pretty comfortable, but it's closer than what you were really hoping for. So I'm going the under in this game.
The Browns, kind of like the Chiefs, are another team that their record's good, but they just don't cover consistently. Yep. So, yeah.
And yet like you picked them.
All right. Yeah. All right.
All right. So next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts, and they are visiting the 3 consecutive loss Pittsburgh Steelers. Losing, never heard of her or never dated her, whatever it was. You know what I'm talking about? The Chase Claypool tweet.
Yeah, it's like never heard of her. Yeah. Everybody retweeted it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big Notre Dame fan, so I like Chase Claypool. Anyway, I'm going to start on this one. Mm-hmm. The Steelers, it is amazing how bad they look now. It is okay, losing to the football team was kind of a loss. I was expecting sort of eventually they're going to lose a game and it's going to be to a surprising team, right? You lose to them, you feel like going against the Bills, the Bills are a really good opponent, potentially the most competitive team in the AFC against the Chiefs. It's understandable the Steelers could lose that game, and they did. And then you go into last week, and you locked the Steelers, man, in the Santa hat, because you were confident that the Steelers were going to have a bounce-back game against their division rivals and cellar dwellers, the Bengals.
Yep.
And it was quite the opposite. So, all that to say, I'm hard pressed to pick the Steelers in this game. I looked at the over/under. I looked at the Colts. I just don't feel confident in really any one way. But I'm going to go Steelers because I do believe they're going to have one game at the end of the season that'll be kind of like where they set the record straight, steer right the ship.
Right the ship. Yeah.
Right the ship. Thank you. That's the phrase. And I think it's got to be either this week or next week, and I think they can get it done. So I'm going Steelers.
That'd be a big win. Yeah.
Huh. So real quick, I agree with you. This is the Steelers bounce back game. They lost 2 in a row. There's no way they can win 4 in a row. There's no way they can lose 4 in a row. So Steelers.
Nice.
Steelers. All right,
All right,
go ahead.
cool. Before I give my pick, real quick, Jimmy, Jay, in the comments. You're talking about fantasy football plays. I'd play Mike Evans over AJ Brown or Marvin Jones, going against a Lions defense. I'd go with Mike Evans. But just real quick, I thought I'd answer that. So really, anybody who's playing against the Lions defense.
I would play Randy Moss or Terrell Owens if they're available.
Those are good picks too. They should be free agents in a lot of leagues, so that's a good idea.
Or Saquon Barkley's a really good pickup right now.
I mean, you could have Saquon and Christian McCaffrey as your duo in the backfield. I mean, who would have thought that could be a combination this late in the year?
Yeah.
That's a championship-winning lineup right there.
That's right. I would do that right now.
Yep.
I'm putting money on it.
We won't be wrong. So these are two good teams. And I know the Steelers have struggled recently, but I'm still going to say these are two good teams. Yes.
Really? I think Steelers are frauds, but you can keep going.
I don't know if I'd say they're a great team or a contender.
They have 11 wins, dude.
But you have to say they're at least.
I think you get scheduled though.
They have 11 wins.
I think
if the Bears had that schedule, we would be 11-3. Honestly,
the Bears were 5-1 and then lost 6 games in a row. It just goes to show you the random nature of the NFL. And maybe the Steelers aren't worth 11 wins, but
they're not worth 11 wins.
Yeah, they're at least a 9-win team.
But they won 11 though.
Yeah, I'd say even depends how you define good. Like when I say good, I'm not saying they're one of my top Super Bowl contenders. Like I'd even say the Bears are a good team. Like good as in like still in the conversation. I think the Steelers are a tier ahead of the Bears.
Drinking the Kool-Aid, are you?
No, not at all. I would just say like it depends how you define good. They're not to the level of the Chiefs or even probably the Bills or I would just say they're still a good team. I think they're similar to the Colts as far as how well they can do in the playoffs. Anyway, all that to say, I also don't know what to expect in this game. I think the Steelers are due for a bounce back, but if they couldn't move the ball against the Bengals, how are they going to score on the Colts?
Yep.
But that being said, I'm going to go with the over here just because if it's below 45 and you have talented skill players on both sides of the ball, I just feel like I'm playing the number here more than the teams. I know you have two good defenses, two offenses that can struggle, but maybe some turnovers and good defensive play can actually result in points or in short fields. I think this is probably a close game too. So you could see late points being scored, maybe even an overtime. I'm going to predict that this is an overtime game. So over 44.5. This is also my lock. Just because I've been so bad at picking locks, I just decided this week I'd pick a random game and lock it.
Nice.
So before I even did my predictions, I looked through everything and just said, hey, I'm going to lock that game. So I'm over 44.5 is my lock, which means everyone should expect a 3-0 game because my locks will be wrong.
So hold on. You said you almost locked the Bears. So the Bears are another this is a random game I'm going to lock?
Well, no, my motto, like before I even looked
What's your motto?
Not motto. I guess my strategy. That is a good motto. Like
the wonderful phrase.
The Bears are definitely a better pick for a lock, but because every time I think I like my lock, I'm wrong. I just whole new strategy. Don't even look at what's most likely. I just scrolled down and selected a game and said I'm locking this before I even knew what I was going to pick. So.
Almost reverse psychology. It'd be awesome if you picked a game like you picked a game you're super not confident in, or like a team. Like if you locked the Jaguars, for example,
right?
Like that would be really reverse psychology.
I almost thought about doing that. Like I'm at the point where I just have to completely redo my philosophy for locks because it's just not working. Yeah. So yes, I can look at this board and probably find 5 games I would rather lock, but I just can't do it. And so we'll see how this goes.
All right, Richie, did you pick this game?
Did I?
I don't know.
I picked
you picked
Steelers. Yeah.
Steelers.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure because I thought you said that, but you also said the Steelers are frauds. So that's why I was just checking in.
Yes, they are frauds.
Yeah,
they need a bounce-out game. Like,
Steelers are frauds. They're going to get a huge win over a big AFC rival here.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I get you. Yeah.
The New York Football Giants at the Baltimore Lamar Jackson poops a lot Ravens. Baltimore is favored by 10.5 points.
I need to go first real quick.
Do it.
All right, cool. Giants. Giants are 6-1 against the spread in the last 7 games following an ATS loss. And speaking of that, I use the bathroom, so I could go with you guys. It's the whole Lamar Jackson thing, so BRB.
All right, sounds good.
On topic.
Make sure you mute yourself.
Just
great. Just hear some plops in the background.
Ah.
All right. Well, Daddy's gone, so we're unsupervised.
Yay.
What else do we want to talk about?
I can't stand Richie, man. All right. You want to go first or you want me to?
Yeah, I'll go first. Mine's not very entertaining for all of you because I'm skipping this game. This game for me at 10.5, that half point again is that weird number. It's kind of unsettling. And this year, the Ravens have been kind of up and down for me. The Giants, I feel like, didn't perform well at all against the Browns. I feel like they could bounce back a little bit here against the Ravens. It's one of those games where I'm pulled in different directions. I could see the Ravens winning by more than 10.5. I could also see the Giants closing the gap more than what the spread says. So that's why I'm skipping this one. What about you?
Yeah, that makes sense. So Baltimore scored 40 points in back-to-back games. They could almost hit this over by themselves here. I know the Giants have a good defense, but I still like the over in this game. 45.5 is just a low total. And 10.5 is just too many points for me to pick against the spread. So 45.5, I feel pretty good about the over on this one. I think this feels like a game where the Ravens should score in the 30s at least. And if the Giants could score at least 10, I'll be fine. And I think they, like you said, don't bounce back enough to win the game, but bounce back to look respectable. They probably score. I feel like this is like a 35-17 kind of game. So,
yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to Panthers at the football team. The spread here is Washington favored by 1.5 and the over-under. Well, that's what we're frustrated about today. What about you? No, I'm just kidding. I didn't change the show on you. But we are on to Panthers at football team, Richie.
Perfect.
So are you going to come and lead us to a game-winning drive now?
Yes.
Nice. Good.
You guys pick ready?
No, we were just starting to introduce it. So, man in the Michigan hat, why don't you start?
This line's been moving. I checked today earlier. Some different books, and I saw Washington at 2.5, so Washington's now favored 1.5 here. A lot is going to depend on whether Alex Smith or Dwayne Make It Rain Haskins is the starter. Dwayne Haskins might be the stupidest person on the planet, honestly. So,
well, he went to Ohio State.
Exactly. Yeah.
What a great.
You're just biased. Come on.
This will be a little bit of a vent, but I wanted to talk about this for a second. So, Haskins, your time in Washington's been disappointing. People are saying you're a bust. You know the guy ahead of you has an injury history and that you could be called on at any minute, right? So instead of staying prepared and disciplined, old grabby hands Dwayne needed to run down to the booty bar so he could get those socially distanced lap dances from Diamond and Peaches. So how what's that?
He's hanging with Harden.
Right. Yeah, it's
sounds like a bad reality show, Hanging with Harden.
I would love to be part of that. We go to strip clubs all the time. That'd be the best. What do you mean? That'd be the best reality show ever.
Yeah. Well, Harden's still picking glitter out of his beard, according to reports. So
and his belly button.
Yeah. And so now Haskins, if you're in the position where you do start, I don't know how you're going to see your receivers. Listeners, I would just recommend waiting on this pick until you see if Alex Smith can play. If Captain Chlamydia has to start, I think it helps the Panthers a lot. Either way, though.
That could be the spin-off show, Hanging with Harden and Captain Chlamydia.
I mean, I'd watch it, honestly.
Me too.
Sounds interesting.
Huge ratings on the Shoot Shot Network.
That's right.
Oh, my God.
There you go. Dwayne, pick up the phone. We have an offer for you.
Yeah. Offer. Right at your quarterbacking job. We got you.
Yeah. When inevitably you can't find a job as a quarterback, let us know.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm taking Carolina and the upset here. I think Carolina wins the game outright. Panthers are 8-1 against the spread, their last 9 as an underdog. And Teddy Two Gloves, a real quarterback, is also 19 against the spread as a road underdog. Those numbers are too insane for me to ignore. Give me the Panthers.
Nice. Richie, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking Panthers as well because let's see. No, I think it's what I wanted to say earlier. Hanging with Harden, Dwayne Haskins was caught at a strip club. I said it earlier, but yeah, Panthers.
Nice.
I love how you're just being brutally honest. Yeah, I used all my jokes earlier, so
yeah, I was like, damn it.
We're just gonna go to the pick. Yeah.
Yeah, the bit's over.
Yeah, we got all the puns out of the way early.
Yeah.
We have a good defensive football team in the football team, and
they're all
they're good at
the Panthers they're not bad, but they're not really that good either. Like right now, they're slotted for like the 5th or 6th pick in the draft. So they're definitely not a good team. It's not a big number, but I'm going to go the under in this game. I went with the under in the 49ers Washington game a couple weeks ago, and that one really worked out well for me. So I'm going to count on Washington again to help me get that under in this game.
Nice.
Great.
All right. Next up, we have Drew Lock against Justin Herbert. So I guess I would venture to say these are probably, maybe in addition with Alex Smith, 2 of the most like British quarterback names in the NFL.
British? You mean
Andrew Lock
French?
and Justin Herbert? What do you mean French?
Is it Herbert?
Oh.
Herbert. It's pronounced. It's not like Rudy Gobert.
I like it.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
There's like an accent over.
It's an Herbert. Like I feel like he's like wee like I don't know.
Wee Herbert.
I don't know. All our UK and Francais listeners, chime in and let us know if Herbert is a French or British name.
It is.
They're perfect. Say something in French.
Herbert.
But we have the Chargers favored by 3. The over-under is 48.5. And Richie, why don't you start?
I'm going with the French Chargers. This is my lock of the week. I like the Chargers. Drew Lock's not going to do shit. Yeah, I think Justin Herbert, per se, that rhymes. He's gonna kill it. He's gonna kill it. So
are you going to French the Chargers?
Yes. All tongue.
Oh yeah.
All tongue.
Thank you for explaining what French means. All right. I in this one looking at, Herbert can really put up a lot of points, but the Broncos, Vic Fangio is just a really good defensive coach. This is another game I was considering skipping because I was kind of on the fence a little bit, but the number I decided on looking at was the over-under, and because the Broncos do have a good defense and also the Broncos won't score much, I'm going to go the under in this game. I'm hoping the Broncos can limit the Chargers scoring, and I won't really have to worry about the Chargers limiting the Broncos scoring because I think the Broncos will do that for themselves. So,
yeah. So don't look now, listeners, but the Chargers have won 2 games in a row. The Broncos have looked solid at times, especially at covering spreads, but they've lost 5 of their last 7 games. I really like the Chargers here. I think Herbert is going to have success. He had 278 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's Italian, Richie.
I know it's Italian. It's European. Hey.
Same continent. Nice. So yeah, I like Chargers on this one.
It's funny talking about Herbert because he has looked really good this year. Is he probably the front runner to win Rookie of the Year?
With Burrow being out, probably.
I'm not Justin Jefferson wins it, but I feel like.
Yeah. So what's crazy is that somebody brought this up. I think it was on a podcast that I was listening to, and they said, think about the reality that John Gruden was, given all this money to coach the Raiders, and because of the division he plays in, he may never lead them to a division title because of the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes for the next decade, and the Chargers now have what looks like a really good quarterback for the future in Justin Herbert.
Yeah, it's brutal.
That's that's some tough skiing right there.
Yep.
All right. Let's move on to this is a really big game this week when you look at playoff seeding and implications. Rams at Seahawks. The Seahawks are favored by only 1 point. The over-under is 47.5. The Rams, I believe, are currently sitting 1 game behind the Seahawks for the division lead. So winning this game for the Rams puts them all of a sudden I corrected myself.
That's true.
From a wild card team to a division winner, which would mean that they could jump from the 5 or 6 seed to the 3rd. So it's a big swing, big game. So I'm going to throw it over to the man in the Michigan hat, or I'm sorry, the man in the beret. What do you have to say for yourself?
Yeah, the man in the Herbert beret.
Herbert beret.
A huge game.
Can we get some of those on the shop.shootyourshot sports store?
Herbert on the front.
Yeah, I see a picture of you. I don't know, be like Herbert berets.
Yeah. Like you said, huge game. The Seahawks can clinch the division with a win. The Rams need a bounce back after just being humiliated last week against the New York Justin Fieldses. So I don't have any clue who's going to win this game. It's obviously going to be a huge game either way. Just give me the under here. I think the Rams defense will get some key stops. I think Jared Goff sucks, and he'll have some key mistakes to keep this low scoring.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, you mentioned the Rams bouncing back. The Rams, to me, I know they lost the Jets, and it's kind of embarrassing, but for honestly more of this season, the Rams have looked like the better team. I feel like after the first 4 or 5 weeks, everyone was super high on the Seahawks, but a lot of the rest of the season, they've been very underwhelming in general, I would say. So with that, I'm going to pick the Rams to win this game.
I like it.
Interesting. I had the Rams in this game, but I just switched. I don't know. I have a gut feeling that Seahawks are going to win this. I do like the Rams, but I think Mr. Unlimited is going to be unlimited this game, actually. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you look at it just in terms of what faith you have in quarterbacks, it's definitely Russell Wilson miles ahead of Jared Goff. So
Jared Goff sucks.
Yeah, he does. But you have the huge difference on defenses. It's just a tough game to read for. So
a very tough game. This should be another coin flip game, but I didn't want to do 2, so it's only 1 per episode. So.
Just coin flip every game and see what happens.
Honestly, it might be all right if we did
we should have a 4th host, and it's just a picture of a quarter. Coin flip every game and just see what the record is. It'd be funny.
So they'd have to do like 2 coin flips, like first coin flip for against the spread or over under, and then whichever that one lands on, then flip it again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. The Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowboys. Andy Dalton versus Jalen Hurts, the battle of the century.
Who would have thought we'd be saying Hurts versus Dalton a year ago?
Carson Wentz wants out of Philadelphia. Reports are he's wanting to be traded.
Yep.
So,
Good luck with that.
I have a bad feeling the Bears are going to try to trade for him because he'd be coming to basically the same system and the same kind of coach.
That worked really well.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
I can. I know. That's what I'm afraid of.
Get rid of Trubisky, bring in Hurts, and you can have Hurts and Foles. And
no, not Hurts, Wentz.
I mean Wentz. You can have Wentz and Foles, and then try to make that same Super Bowl run.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. All right, Carson.
All right, what are your picks, guys?
Carson, week 15, you're going to get injured.
You're going to have to get hurt, Carson.
All right, Eagles is my pick.
All right,
awesome.
Yeah, so the Eagles just look like a different team with Jalen Hurts. I wonder, though, if he's due for a bad game soon. Rookie quarterbacks who are better runners than passers just feel like they get figured out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dallas has
Cowboys don't have a good defense
and defense to do that. But give me the Cowboys to win and cover here. Neither team's very good. I just think if it was a better defense, I'd feel more confident saying this, but I still think Hurts might just have some trouble this game. I think he's kind of showed us the absolute ceiling for him, and I think he's going to have some tough games in the future. So
awesome. And I'm going the over. I feel like Jalen Hurts and the Red Rifle going to go at it. Air raid. Let's try it. Fuck
cool.
it.
Sunday night football, the Tennessee Titans in Lambeau Field against the Green Bay Packers. The over-under 36. Green Bay's favored by 3. Man in the Michigan hat, since you're so disrespectful, why don't you go ahead and start?
Maybe I'd be respectful if the Packers beat a team over 500.
They have a chance this week.
Yeah, and it's not going to happen. This feels like a pick'em game to me. Even though the Packers are at home, 3 is actually a fairly high number for what I think is going to be a pretty close game.
That's just the whole home thing. Yeah.
I just think that this is a year with no fans that I don't know that a home field advantage is still worth 3. And Packers have struggled to stop the run this year, and Derrick Henry is a bad running back to try to stop right now. I like the under a lot here too, actually, but I'm picking the Titans plus the 3 points.
I am going all in on the Titans on this game.
Yes.
I'm right with you. Derrick Henry is not the running back you want to face as the Packers defense. That was the main matchup I thought of. So Titans all the way.
Titans for me too. Let's
dang.
go.
Crap. Oh, we did well last week. I think that curse is over. When we all picked the same. I think now that's a good thing. Maybe
the Packers are going to win now.
Have some Christmas faith.
Yeah,
Christmas miracle.
Just because they're green doesn't mean they're going to win. Come on, they're outside yellow too.
Yeah.
Look like garbage. So
they do look like garbage. Yeah. All right, Richie, did you pick that? You picked Titans. Yeah. So Monday Night Football, Bills at Patriots. I would normally say it's a big divisional game, but the Patriots have already been eliminated. The Bills already clinched the division. So we have Buffalo favored by 7. The over-under is 46. Richie, I know you're going to say it. Nobody.
Circle the wagons with the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going Bills. Bills Mafia. I'm going through a fucking table.
Do it.
This is going to be a good game. I should do that. Let's go to the table.
If the Patriots win outright, don't just cover, but they win, yeah, you have to jump through a folding table on Twitter.
That'd be great.
That's the deal. All right.
I'm going Bills.
No explanation needed.
Richie had every explanation I needed.
Yeah.
So I'm going to.
Josh Allen is awesome. I love Josh Allen. He's the best.
Were you about to do a heart? It looked like you were about to do a heart for Josh Allen.
I love Josh Allen. He's the best. So.
Yep. Stephon Diggs has been great too this year. The Bills have just had a really good year, and the Pats obviously had a really rough year. This is the first time that Buffalo has won the division since 1995, so good for them. I think this game is going to be a picture of the entire season and a nice cap on the year they've had. The Bills are going to steamroll New England and cover here. This is another one that would have made more sense to lock if I had any confidence in how I lock.
I don't know why you lock randomly.
Yeah, but I'm just obviously not doing that, so. Yeah, Bills win big.
All right, well, before we head out of here for our holiday celebrations, let's do our Thrive Fantasy prop picks of the week. So you guys have yours ready?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Richie, do you want to start?
Yes. I have Emmanuel Sanders going over 61.5 receiving yards. I feel like he's a good target for Drew Brees, so we're doing Emmanuel Sanders over 61.5 total yards.
To go in conjunction with my pick of the Titans beating the Packers, I'm going Derrick Henry over 117.5 total rushing and receiving yards. The Titans would be foolish to not just feed Henry through the whole game. And he's a big boy, so he'll need a lot of food.
That's a good pick because actually, he'll have 117.5 by halftime. So yeah, that'll be. I like that pick. Yeah, that might be a halftime prop. Actually, we'll have to check our numbers. So, it looks like full game is 350 total yards. So, okay, I'm going to go on with the Christmas game, keeping Christmas spirit. I'm going to go Adam Thielen over 58.5.
Wow, white receiving
yards. Nice.
Whoa.
That was solid fun.
Are you dreaming of a white Christmas?
Yeah.
Evidently. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jefferson obviously is having a great year, but Thielen gets a lot of looks in the red zone. I think he gets a couple play, like really 58.5. I just need him to break off one for like 30 and then get a couple other catches and I'll be good. So I just like the number. So over.
Nice.
Over.
Well, man, in the beret.
Yep.
In the Herbe beret. Would you like to close us out?
Yes, I would.
Not in the Herbe.
The Herbe. Yeah. This concludes the Shoot Your Shot Scorecast for this week. Remember to subscribe, follow us on social media so you never missed another pick. Follow us individually on Twitter at Richie Chicago, at Furious George 94, and at Michigan Hat. Our handles are there next to our pictures.
Oh my God.
Follow us for a dumb commentary on the games we're watching. With all the uncertainty in the world, the one thing that is certain is our predictions.
And Santa Claus coming down the chimney.
Yeah, that will happen. Despite COVID, despite everything going on in the world, that will happen. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. See you next week for more correct picks.
Awesome.